Hello, welcome to a special Billy Ho Sports presentation, Derby 151 Hot Take. So, not all racing times are made to be equal. This run up term is the new stat being tossed around, and it's really not new. It's been around a long time, but it's really been significant. I'll tell you why in here in a second. But in this video, we're going to discuss why they use the run up, uh, contrast and compare the prep races and how they affected the final times. But first, I just wanted to take a brief moment to wish everybody happy Easter. And to also thank you all for your great support. You're the driving force behind my efforts to be a better handicapper and a host. So I really do appreciate all the great comments and encouragement. So let's get started on this thing. Run up, definition wise, the distance between the starting gate and the beam. They hit a beam that starts the clock. So it's however many feet. And actually the explanation is it adds distance to the race. So it's not this much less. It's not a mile and a quarter or a mile and an eighth from the gate. It's a mile and an eighth from the beam. So just to clarify that right off the bat. Why they do it, it's pretty much for safety and fairness. It gives outside post horses a chance to get into stride, get position. Basically, Gulfstream Park is the major factor with their track configuration. And really, actually, the announcement this year that they made in February that they extended the run up for both the mile and a 16th and the mile and an eighth races. So they added 50, I forget how many feet, but like the Florida Derby was a 130-foot run up, which is a lot. So the reason the times are affected is because the horses get longer to run up to the full speed. So you're going to see faster opening quarters and final times, but it's not really affecting the mid-race fractions. I still feel like they're ultimately accurate, so to speak. But main reason the extension was the jockey club or the jockeys got together committee or whatever. So it's just give them a special chance because in the 9 furlong races like the Florida Derby, there's not a lot of time to get position before you hit that first turn. So it's a big disadvantage to be on the outside post. So basically, I am going to designate 45 feet as the baseline because, for your information, that is the run up for the Kentucky Derby. I went back and looked. You can find, I've been looking, I don't know pre-race where you would find where it says run up. Equibase PPs might have it. I looked at my past performances on my Brisnet PPs, and I didn't find it anywhere on those. So I don't know the best way to find that information pre-race. But I would say just they're all pretty standard. So if you go back and look at the race charts on these specific races at a track, you're going to get the run up because they don't change them. They have a certain, if it's the race is this distance, that's the run up. The only change was that Gulfstream Park this year added to the run up. They made one change. It's locked in. So anyway, 45 feet is approximately 0.83 seconds. So I'm not going to try to geek out on the math here. So I hope I don't lose anybody. But if you do have any questions, just leave them in the comments. As always, comments are much appreciated. So the Santa Anita Derby had an 85-foot run up. So I just kind of mathed it out to 0.7 seconds to the opening quarter of 22:55. So it would be more like 23.32 opening quarter. And then the final time of 150.33. So just to sum things up, the Arkansas Derby was a 60-foot run up, about 0.27 additional, not a big deal. Louisiana Derby was 45 feet, so pretty accurate. That's a moot. And Bluegrass, 50 foot, so we'll call that a draw. So these are the races if you want to pay any more attention to them or not. But then you have the Wood Memorial and the Jeff Ruby, both 80 feet. So I give them a 0.67 second bump. And this is just kind of the opening quarter and the final time. It's just because of the factor of the speed of the horses are getting more time to get to full speed. So it's going to enhance their it's like getting a head start in a race when you're a kid. Somebody, the fastest kid on the block gives you, a driveway length head start, and then you got a chance to beat them. So anyway, the Florida Derby, 130 foot was the most significant. So that's about 1.5 seconds of run time, which is pretty significant. But I don't think anything is meant to change opinions on how the horses ran. Tapan Street still ran one of the best of the 7 preps. My takeaway is really the ultimate takeaway is whenever I'm looking at Gulfstream Park and I'm looking at 2-turn races, and if I bet money on them and I'm watching it and I see opening quarters that are fast, I'm not going to be as stunned or as worried that they're going that fast that early because of the longer run up. So I'll know better that time around. So you will too. And a fun fact is the new policy went into effect February 22nd or 27th, excuse me, and was applied to the mile and an eighth optional claimer that Grande won by 2.5 lengths. So Grande was one of the first horses to experience that extra run up at Gulfstream Park. So that's all I have today. Quick video. I hope you got something out of it. I know I did. I got a little more information about it and just feel a little better. But I don't really honestly think it's going to factor into my handicapping whatsoever. I just thought this was an interesting video. So I hope you did too. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you soon.